This college football picks week 13 edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog's hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds when you sign up with the code SGPN.
Hey everybody, Jim McMahon here, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration. Over.
It's a baby fucking wheel, man. San Diego Superchargers.
Now go home and get your fucking shine box.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money game with my partner on picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kramer?
Dog.
Hello, James Franklin. This is what a weird couple of weeks it's been to be a Hokies fan. Between the basketball showing up and being like, "Hey, might actually have a basketball team this year."
Well, let's bring on Colby Dant, aka Pick Dundee, from the college experience to break down the hiring of James Franklin to Virginia Tech. Colby, what do you make of this hire for the Hokies?
I think it's outstanding. I think it's the best they could have possibly done. You know, I mean, short of unless they could get Chris Peterson or something, I think this is the best they could have done.
I would say, you know, in upon further review, still thought an all-star crew of Gruden and Ed Ogeron would have been fun, but and Pat
we Hokies.
Pat Fitzgerald, I don't know where he's going to end up, but now that the lawsuit's done, he's an interesting option. But this does seem like not only did everyone love the hire for the Hokies, they love the hire for James Franklin. Kind of keeps him. I mean, this is one of these things where it's like he built two programs. He shows up to now another program in a similar state, right? A little bit removed from the glory days, needing rebuilding. He knows how to do that. And what was the issue at Penn State? He made the program too good to where the expectations were you're not good enough to run this program anymore.
Yeah, he couldn't get over the hump. Meanwhile, Virginia Tech was saying we'd love that hump, the hump of getting into the college football playoff most years.
I've said this, being in school from 2000 to 2004, and then, being as diehard as I've been traveling to away games, those next like 4 to 6 years, that was the peak of the program. And I saw I think it was the Cover 3 guys compared the winning percentage of James Franklin and Frank Beamer and said, "Hey, I think James Franklin can be Frank Beamer." And I think any Hokies fan would say, "Yeah, give me that." And what comes with James Franklin, I think, is something that everyone has yearned, and that's why the Coach Pride disaster was so sad. Was that it was just recruit the area again. Well, just go back to what we were doing in those late 90s, 2000 teams, which was dominating Virginia and the surrounding area, stealing guys like Kevin Jones from Penn State and Pennsylvania. I think that's all they have to get back to. I think this is a great hire. And the last kind of nugget I had as I was walking the dogs, I did have this deep thought of like, man, James Franklin is tight with Brent Pry. His brother-in-law lives down the street from Blacksburg. I think this makes me feel really good about the financial investment, because there's no way James Franklin is taking this job if Coach Pry says they ain't spending the money right. There's no way he's taking this job knowing that he has connections, deep connections.
Yeah, I mean, they did waste money on Brent Pry, so maybe he's like, they're spending it in good places. They're paying guys like me.
Well, they did also just announce a like $300 million investment.
Yeah. What was Pry's buyout? Did he have a buyout?
Whatever it was, it was small. It was smallish on the grand stage of coaches. But that is also the awkward piece of this. When does Coach Pry show up on the sideline as an assistant here does he have to wait a couple years? Correct me if I'm wrong. He was James Franklin's defensive coordinator the entire time at Vanderbilt and at Penn State until he got hired to be the Hokies coach. Correct?
I don't know if it was the entire time at Vanderbilt.
But anyway,
here.
I say all of that to say it does. What scares me the most is how much everyone loves the hire for everyone. And Florida's hiring a coach. LSU's hiring a coach.
Well, have you seen the LSU?
But Colby, not in a million years would you have convinced me that the Virginia Tech Hokies are going to get the top guy on their list in a climate where Arkansas SEC teams are hiring coaches. Big Ten team. Granted, he left the Big Ten team that's hiring the coach. It just seemed very unlikely. So yeah, like it. I think. Yeah, Virginia Tech gets back to making the playoff and losing in the first or second round. That's fun college football every year.
Look, let's be honest. Like, he didn't get enough opportunities to really, like, the 12-team playoffs only been there for 1 year. You know, yes, they shit the bed. They got to the Final Four, but they shit the bed. In basketball, Final Four, they give you an extension. They love you.
Cut down the net. You get to get up on the ladder. They hang a banner just for getting into the Final Four. Also,
clearly something else was going on here. They like the rapidness to which they pulled the ripcord.
He went from what number 5 in the nation to losing his job in 2 weeks.
That's what I mean. Like, clearly there was something more going on behind the scenes. Like, this was building over seasons of. I mean, in Penn State, you want to talk about an all-time fucking not quite Texas A&M levels of deliriousness, but what does Penn State think they are?
Well, that's the fascinating thing about this cycle in general is, like, even Brian Kelly. I know he didn't win a natty, and the previous coaches did, but the previous coaches were there when they could cheat.
Yeah.
So like Brian, I actually think the top 2 open coaches, like I said, short of Chris Peterson coming back to college football or something of that magnitude, I think the best 2 coaches available are Franklin and Brian Kelly. So that are available. Like if Kiffin goes to Florida, that's different. But I think they hit a home run, and I'd sit there and look at LSU and Auburn and Florida and say, and Penn State, and say, are you going to get anybody better than this guy? Because I don't think you can. You can.
And this is also back to Colby's prediction about how some of these SEC teams are going to turn into real doormats. Well, you know what a good way to do that is? Put your program through a blender of firing coach after coach, sinking a bunch of money into buyouts, and like really creating a stressful environment where that's not going to create winners. And again, it's back to like, what does your program think you are? And I think that's, honestly, one of the best things about being a Virginia Tech fan is they're never going to have that level of expectation, which probably maintains a healthier program all in all. Like, if again, back to that, if they can get back to what they were in the late 90s, early 2000s, that's awesome. A contender every year that is, going to recruit.
He would have broke through at some point. He would have broke through. Penn State won the Big Ten 1 year, and they didn't make the 14 playoff because the 14 playoffs a fucking joke, right?
Well, the recruiting and the fact that he's all the things we talk about. He's a program builder. He's a recruiter, and he seems to at least know how to hire football coaches. Now you can. And he was at JMU first, right before Patty C came. So. He told, and
he might have been one that recruited Patty C.
That would be great. we need a quarterback who can also put down a burrito, knows cover 3.
Imagine. Well, no, he was an offensive coach, so maybe he didn't recruit him.
Yeah, I know. But he does recruit the DMV, so maybe it was. But we should touch on the shit show that is the LSU situation. So what LSU, I know they didn't officially, I'm just going to give you the lowdown on what's happening from what I understand it to be.
Well, but before you do that, real quick, Brian Kelly, because you mentioned Brian Kelly as being a good coaching hire. You did read the reports about him. Yes. Now, granted, it could be mudslinging. He's more time
win in court. LSU is going to have to pay him.
Well, no, hold on. But no, how into coaching he is now. Like, I don't know if I would hire Brian Kelly based on what I read about how, he got like the presidential more time on the golf course than coaching football. Not really, he's older, not really as willing to grind as
Michigan State would take him in a heartbeat. Michigan State would take him in a heartbeat.
Of course they would, because they like buying the snake oil. Anyway, continue.
No, so when Brian Kelly got fired, the athletic director that hired him was, part of the. He didn't get fired at the time. The governor then made a statement.
Oh yeah. Wait, well, pause one more time, Colby, because that is the same guy that hired Jimbo Fisher, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, but this guy is he's responsible for the 2 biggest buyouts in the history of college football.
Well, it's not like LSU was trash. They were just barely they were going 9-3, right? And then he was winning natties in baseball, right? So I mean, he didn't necessarily be a complete failure. Also, women's basketball. So the governor, we should have pulled the audio for what the governor said, because it's fucking classic. The way he says it in his southern drawl. But then he basically says he will not be making the next hire, and then takes a moment to kind of shit on him. And I think it goes back, from what I understand, to the women's team not showing up for the White House under Trump. Right. So, I guess they had gotten into it then, saying they can do, the athletic director stuck up for his team, and the governor was super pissed at him and waiting for this opportunity to shit on him. So then a couple of days removed from that, they get rid of the athletic director. Then they put in place, this is the best part. This is so great about the SEC. They put in place an interim AD who wasn't allowed to step on a college and university for a 5-year amount of time.
Why?
But he's politically connected to the governor, right? And then they asked the school president about the new interim athletic director, and he goes, "No, he's not with us long term. This is not something I wanted to hear." So you have the ultimate shit show going on in Baton Rouge right now, and it's a different age of college football. Why would anyone? I understand that there's a lot of talent in Louisiana and Texas, and Louisiana touches Texas, but this is a different era. Why would you take that gig, knowing the headache, knowing that they fire for 9-3 seasons? You know what I mean? Why would you take that? I know someone will, because they'll offer a bunch of money, but I don't think the job is nearly as attractive in today's college football as it was yesterday.
Well, you used to have the regional recruiting angle, right? And made it easier, but now it's a money thing. At least you're getting the money to recruit and get the NIL going. But to your point, Colby, why wouldn't you, because you have the NIL, why not go to a place like Virginia Tech that has money and lower expectations? To me,
well, there's also this weird element of a school like LSU. In some ways, they're not really looking for a recruiter, because they already have their they have all these random people that work for the program. Maybe they're assistant coaches that go coach to coach. They stay with the head coach no matter they stay at LSU no matter which head coach, because they're recruiters. They have these guys that just are plugged in with the high schools in Louisiana and the surrounding area. And so in some ways, yeah.
I also forgot they didn't pay Brian Kelly, which seems highly illegal, and Brian Kelly's suing them. Right. And I think he's going to win in court. I'm no lawyer, but from what I understand from listening to some people that cover it.
Yeah. Seems obvious based on what I've read.
Well, they kept trying to be I think his buyout was what, 50 million? And they go, what about 35? He's like, no, I want that 50. Why would I take 35? They don't have any they don't have any clause to fire him. Right. I mean, he wasn't having sex with, women who work at, what reason did they expect him to take less money?
They're going to try to dig up something, but I don't know that there's something to dig up, but what coach would want that? I know someone's going to take the bag, but I'm just saying, you have the school president seems like they don't even want the athletic director. It was forced in by the governor, right?
Yeah, it does seem like a shit show.
It just, to me, and I just want to remind people before, when the SEC, prior to 2000, I want to say LSU had a good amount of winning seasons the previous 15, or a good amount of losing seasons the previous 15 years. So beware what you wish for, and I'm no Brian Kelly supporter. I just think though that what great coach right now would want to inherit that mess? You're going to have to go out and get something else.
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but where I feel like this happens in college sports, where teams plateau at a certain level, both LSU and Penn State, and they get tired of that level. They get rid of the guy that's coaching at a pretty high level to bring in someone else to get them over the top.
I'm asking a dumb question.
How often does that happen? I feel like the opposite happens a lot more often. Great question,
Sean. Colby, give me an example of a program being very good or even great and firing their coach, hiring a new coach, and that program being elevated. Nick Saban, Les Miles, and even Les Miles is probably a bad example. And Urban Meyer are the only examples I can even like come close to thinking about.
Oh, what coming into a
coach, a program fires their coach because they're good, not great. They bring in another guy and they're now winning national championships.
Even Saban, I don't think Saban will qualify because pre that at Alabama, Shula was terrible. They lost to they lost to Hawaii.
Yeah, they were
stuff.
bad.
Yeah.
So they weren't even. Yeah, but
before that with Gene Stallings, they were nasty. But
yeah, you're right. Most of my childhood, Alabama was not a good football team.
No. That change was Saban.
In my brain, like they're not one of these football blue bloods. I understand Bear Bryant was the coach and they are, but like that's Anyway.
But I mean, it's an interesting. I mean, we'll see what they go with because people are saying John Summerall and like, look, I'm not saying he's a bad coach. To me, he'll have his pick between Florida, Auburn, and potentially Florida, but Auburn or LSU. Both are crazy jobs, though. To me,
if you're Lane Kiffin, what do you do?
I stay at Ole Miss because I think that he's elevated that job. Now you can make a case because I believe like he spent time living in Florida or like his family did. That's a little different to me. Like if your kids want to be back there, then
the message boards. If you haven't seen the message board reports, the message board reports are that Lane's wife would like to take the Florida
ex-wife
or whatever, the kids. It's more about the kids.
So why give her that glory?
Well,
they seem to have some sort of a
happy wife, happy life. But no, it sounds like
life.
The story. Everyone saw the story about them checking out schools in Gainesville, but it sounds like the again, if you believe the message boards, which I've been in them heavily with the James Franklin situation lately. It does seem like the family would like Lane to take the Florida job. And so now,
I mean, look, I get it. Florida also, when everything's going, it just seems like to me over the past few years, they had the Jaden Rashada incident where they couldn't pay the guy. Like their boosters are all over the place. I don't think they currently have a school president. It looked like they were going to hire this guy from Michigan. And then like the board, after he left Michigan, they ended up rejecting him. But I think that's less of a shit show. That's less of a shit show than like LSU right now is and Auburn's a complete. I mean, Auburn's. Yeah. I mean, what they did to Harsin and stuff. I mean, we could do the show for hours on some of the shit that Auburn does. But should be fascinating to see. But great hire, man. Franklin, I think, is going to ignite Virginia Tech right away. And I think there'll be a playoff team. Great for the ACC. If you were one of these someone that wants the ACC to stay together. I think the recent push of their basketball coaches and some of the recent hirings in football, you're seeing Dickert at Wake Forest. You're seeing, some really good hires of late. I think could help really benefit the conference.
Do you have any? Do you know of any fun people he's going to hire? James Franklin.
I'm intrigued to see. I mean, my first thought would be like, can he get Ricky Ronnie away from Old Dominion? Because with that, you saw it's kind of a recent trend over the past 3 or 4 years of like taking sitting group of 5 head coaches and bringing them in as coordinators, right? You've seen that before. Not Summerall, but Kane Womack, Alabama hired them. Their DC. He was the head coach of a bowl team at South Alabama. And same with Maurice Lindquist, their defensive backs coach. He took a DB coach job.
Yeah.
And he was the head coach of Buffalo. So they were able to pay that much more.
Well, yeah, I think I'm excited. It also sounds like they're going to maybe steal. I don't remember the name, but they're trying to steal someone that James Franklin built the Vanderbilt program with to come over and be the GM. The Hokies they're invested enough to have a GM position. So it sounds like Franklin's basically going to be hiring his guy for that.
Well, and this makes perfect sense to do this because Virginia's gotten like 4 or 5 donations over the past year for football.
Great transition.
And if Virginia wins,
look at this.
Okay.
Well, just real quick, some of our favorite friends of the program. Shout out to Chris Long, Greenlight. This is them UVA fans live from Charlottesville.
Shout out to Nate.
And shout out to Nate Collins reacting to the news of James Franklin being hired.
Encapsulates.
No!
What happened?
James Franklin to Virginia Tech.
Fuck me.
Oh my God. We got to win it this year. We got to win it this year. They're about to take all our recruits. Like, what the fuck?
I like Chris Long's
Like,
expression is
what the
great.
fuck, bro. Like, get out of here. Get out of here, dude.
Encapsulates.
I almost feel like we
love
might
Nate.
need to turn
That's
Nate
also,
into a drop.
Yeah. Well, we do have.
No.
We do have
That's
this as a drop,
hold
but
on.
Nate's no is a different kind of no.
It's like soccer goal, but no.
Go!
It's like when you have that extra
But
drink.
back to what the point here, and I think obviously they know that Virginia Tech's coming, but if Virginia can get to the playoffs, right, which would mean, I mean, they're pretty fucking close right now to playing in the ACC championship, and they could still make the ACC championship. I think even with a loss, if the right other teams lose, right, that money could heat up because Virginia's got pockets. We know that. That's why. I mean, we've been saying this forever. I think when they first said every school could pay, you know, NIL became a thing, and is that a lot of the Southern teams probably were, you know, I think they yes, they have more passionate fans, but I think long term you worry because a school like Virginia, there's a bunch of schools in the North and the Big Ten and stuff that have serious money. Like if they've already got a bunch of donations this past year, let them get to the playoffs. Even if they get blown out in the playoffs, I think that might ignite a lot more money out of Charlottesville saying, hey, we should continue to pursue this avenue. So it should be a fun little arms race there in the state of Virginia.
The reality is all these schools have multi-billion-dollar endowments. And it's like, just, you know, pluck a little bit of that interest money, throw it
Shave
at
a little
sports.
off the top.
Well, it's like, it's your greatest marketing tool
Yeah.
as a university right now. What's better than sports?
Love sports. All right, we got a bunch of games to get to. Shout out to us. We got a holiday merch sale.
Sport be very good to me.
And what better way than the Sports Gambling Podcast Network? Promo code HOLIDAY, 25% off everything in the store. Not only the fun holiday stuff, the cocaine reindeer sweatshirts, great for an ugly sweater party, but the beanies, the hats, the hoodies, TCE gear, SGPN gear, bottom line bombs. I saw CJ in the chat there. Where shout out to the C Generates, Steffi Smalls gear. There's a bunch of great stuff in there, all 25% off. Promo code HOLIDAY. And we're also brought to you by Novig. Who wants to pay Vig on these bets? Of course, no one. That's why you go to Novig, where you can get the best price in the world. Our buddy Scott, we were talking Thursday night props, and Scott is a guy. He is always is very sharp gambler there, sharp podcast host, and he was saying he loved the prices over on Novig. And of course, use our promo code SGPN. Get started today. Available in a bunch of states. Spend $5, get $50. And look, and they are also very good with the boosts. I'm looking at a 20% hockey parlay boost, 25% college basketball boost. Take some TCE picks, fire a boost. I know TCE has been killing it on some money line parlays. Imagine if you tied the 25% boost on top of it. Get started today. Promo code SGPN.
So I learned something on Sunday, real quick before we get to the games, and I'm curious if Colby knew this. Colby, did you know that there is these fraudulent Charlotte University 49ers? Did you know that there is a hidden axe inside their logo?
I did.
How have we never talked about this?
Oh, little miners axe. Yeah.
But we talk about this on the show all the time. They didn't actually have. They're nothing to do with the gold rush. It's when the university almost went under, and they
Tell that to them. They
Well, the funniest part is normally you switch to like a name like that when you, even though I disagree with it, when you were like the Indians before, right?
Yeah.
It's normally like you quickly switched to. It's like, no, you guys weren't even the Indians before.
This
It
is
was
like
just
a bankruptcy thing.
Yeah. And hold on, I get an opportunity right now to hey Parlay Ray.
Uh-oh.
Parlay Ray hopped in our TCE database top 25 8 days ago. And he said the 12-team playoff is stupid. We have the 4 teams figured out. And he proceeded to tell me Alabama, because and I made the point then that it's crazy they lost to the team in 15th place in the ACC by double digits when they ran for over 250 yards against them. Right? You brought up, hey, Alabama is the top 4 team, cut and dry, 4-team playoff, so much better than 12 team. And then Alabama went at home to an Oklahoma team that has sputtered some throughout the season, and you got fucking dominated. You had the lead for about 10 seconds at home. Curious your thoughts, buddy, on your 4-team playoff. I thought Alabama was just a lock to get in there. I thought they were let's put them in. They're for sure top 4 best team in the country for sure, right? Despite the loss to someone in 15th place in the ACC.
Colby's rattled.
Place in the fucking ACC. Anyway,
Colby's a little rattled.
Parlay Ray, shout out to him.
Parlay Ray, also great.
I had Oklahoma money line.
Dog.
Parlay Ray, good name too, good handle, right?
It is a good one.
Ray is just a good gangster name. Like it's got that like a lot of gang. Like I feel like whether it's Italian mob movies or any
Ray
sort
Liotta.
of any sort of gang, maybe like a vice cop. It's just a good name. So Parlay Ray, very very good name. All right, let's. We should talk football. I think that's what we're here to do. Well, everyone knows, Colby, the best part of the show is the first 30 minutes when Sean just sits here and waits for us to talk football. That's what the DMs tell me. A lot of positive feedback on the first 30 minutes, which tells me that more questions than answers might have to be greenlit in the offseason. Good news too, Colby. Sean seems to be interested to participate, so maybe he'll.
No, you got it's greenlit. It's greenlit. If you guys want to talk for 4 hours about aliens, ancient geometry,
Colby, please tell me you're tracking 3i Atlas.
No, yeah, I got it right here. I got it in the physical form.
All right, nice. And it's like kidney stones. So I got a little 3i Atlas over here. All right, Thursday night. No, Friday night. Yeah, we got Florida, aka Saudi Arabia State.
Shirts available in the store for the holidays.
Yeah, promo code holiday, 25% off.
Yeah.
I heard someone told me they were getting one for their grandfather. So if you have a grandfather or uncle that would appreciate this type of joke, you're going to be a king for this one because they're really going to like it and they're going to wear it to their poker game, show all their buddies. Florida, aka Saudi Arabia State, laying 4.5 here on the road against NC State, who. What a pile of shit they were last week. I regret betting all these college football games. NC State plus 160 on the money line. 61.5 is the total. This is a rock hard play situation for me because fuck NC State. What a no show. What a no show. Colby, which side are we taking?
I hate to admit this because that was ridiculous, but the Pussy Pack are still the play, guys.
Yeah.
Oh no!
This is a bounce back opportunity for him, and more so, I don't want to lay points on the road with Saudi Arabia State. Is that a crazy take?
It's a long plane trip,
and we see this is actually when the Wolfpack will get up. Friday night, home dog, embarrassed last week, embarrassed to be on the money line round robin. Colby, we are taking Saudi Arabia State, right?
We have to because. I don't know what the fuck my camera's doing over here, but
NC State.
Yeah, no, we have to take NC State because this has been a house of horrors for Saudi Arabia going to Carter Finley. And look, to NC State, I know they looked awful last week. They're playing for a bowl game. And then when you add in the fact that at home, they've beaten Virginia, they've beaten Georgia Tech, right? So what's the 15th place team in the ACC? Probably going to give them a better game than those two. But, no, I think NC State's a play. They have everything to play for. Florida State celebrated excessively. Do you see Antonio Cromartie shit on them?
What did he say?
Antonio Cromartie, former Florida State Seminole in the Bobby Bowden era. Well, the way that they were rejoicing and talking shit to Virginia Tech, Antonio Cromartie on his Twitter said, like, you guys just beat a Virginia Tech team that's fired its coach and you're celebrating like you won the Natty, you bums. Like
yeah, that's the other thing. Fading Saudi Arabia State off this win against a defeated Virginia Tech program, and now you're going on the road laying points on a short week. No, thank you. NC State is the play.
Virginia Tech's at the recruiting and transfer portal stage of their season already. The coach bump ended. We'll get one more against UVA where they will inevitably beat UVA as they typically do. And yeah, I mean, by the way, Florida State still behind the Hokies in the standings because of the extra loss. So yeah, I don't. Right. I'm pretty sure they're behind them still. Yeah. And
I have the standings right here. You are accurate. The only teams behind Florida State are Syracuse and Boston College. So I mean, they beat one of Parlay Ray's top 4 teams to put in the playoffs.
This is the winner of this game will be bowl eligible though. That is worth noting. So I guess you're probably right. We
get up spot. NC State for everyone.
Game number 2 on Friday night. So that's one Friday night, dog. Sean, late night kick here. 7:30 p.m. on the West Coast in Vegas. So we can't go to the game because we'll be doing a show. Hawaii's in town. The 9th island, is that what they call it? UNLV laying 2 and
I think
10th maybe. UNLV minus
more questions than answers. We'll cover the islands.
How many islands are there in Hawaii?
minus 2.5 for UNLV, minus 130 on the money line. Hawaii plus 110. 64.5 is the total. If you want a tale of an island in the South Pacific, the Pitcairn Islands, very unique. Know a lot about it. Maybe we'll have to do an episode on it sometime in the future. Colby, clear and obvious spot to take the Rebels here.
They're the luckiest team in the nation. Utah State just couldn't make a field goal to between that and the Clemson Louisville game last week. Man. No, I got to take Hawaii. They've been better eye test wise. They're going to have half that crowd, which is only like 50 people, but
versus you and TCE versus UNLV, I feel like it's been an all-time rivalry.
It has been. I mean, look, and like they are the luckiest fucking team.
Yeah, if you look at their advanced numbers, it's just all red. It's like, I mean, now maybe especially on the defensive side for UNLV, but
130th in the nation in defense, and they're sitting there with 2 losses. They have pulled the game when they had 3 block punts. Credit to them. Terrible adjustments by Wyoming. They just could not figure out how to block somebody. The Miami Ohio game they should have lost last week. They should have lost. Utah State had multiple field goals and a chance to win this game, and they just in that filthy stadium too. I thought you were supposed to be able to kick in these fucking places. I'm taking Hawaii. I think they're the tougher team defensively, and I think they'll have half that crowd. And look, this is a gigantic game, guys, because the winner is probably going to have the inside track because San Diego State's currently in first place. San Diego State plays New Mexico, who's in 4th. I mean, you could see a scenario where San Diego State and Fresno State play the championship game, but you got to think the winner of this is going to still be right there. And if one of those teams mess up, they're going to be in the Mountain West Championship, providing they can win out.
Yeah, this is tough because I do like Hawaii with the extra time to prepare coming to Vegas. I think it's a nice get up spot for them. I like Timmy Chang, like the program. Colby was right about them crushing San Diego State. I think that was a bad spot for San Diego State, but they did put up 38 points on the San Diego State defense. I will go Hawaii plus 2.5, but it feels dirty to be in Vegas fading the Rebels. Kramer, what are you doing?
Before the season, I had a short encounter with a local radio guy when we were out for sign up weekend, and learned the weird note that Dan Mullen was doing a coach's show. Not weird, right? But he was doing a bunch of episodes of that show while driving around in Las Vegas. And I just mental noted that we all took the under on them this season, and the horseshoe's been squarely up their ass. It felt like
it was up their ass last year, and it was due to regress this year, and they're still kind of getting by with it.
I would not underestimate. Now we do have interesting note. Vegas is hosting the Formula One race this weekend. And so I thought, man, that could really hurt people traveling to Vegas because it's more expensive. So then I look into it. Nope. Per Tick Pick, I think that it was one of these ticketing sites. Hawaii expects to have greater than 50% of the crowd, and I fully expect to see a bunch of Hawaii fans when we are out at the Circa on Friday, Sean.
Oh, maybe we can get maybe you doing the haka, Ryan.
Oh,
You did play rugby.
Yeah, that would be. I mean, I wouldn't be disrespectful like that, Sean. Please, but Hawaii is the play.
Lock it up. Hawaii plus 2.5.
Long way to say it. Although I will say there is nothing more intimidating than dudes doing the haka in your face when they look scary.
You let dudes do a haka in your face?
You don't really let it. You're kind of like watching it. You're watching it and making sure they're not. Stop the haka. And you don't want them to take your soul. That's the goal. Just keep the soul inside your body. 9 a.m. on Saturday morning.
Kramer's blowing.
I was going to say, what's going on with my phone over there? Missouri heads to Oklahoma. Oklahoma, very nice win. Shocking. No one's good in the SEC. That's the hot take. Oklahoma laying 7.5 against Missouri. Missouri plus 240. 42.5 is the total. I've been off on this Oklahoma team all year, Colby. What are we doing here? They kind of seem like now they're the side.
My handicap was perfect last week. They were going to fuck up the offensive line. Like Alabama's like a Pac-10 team, an old school Pac-10 team. Like they're great wideouts, finesse team.
It's true. They're the T-Mobile shop. Finesse.
Yeah.
Cash Ryan mentioning the Office redesign.
Well, it is soft. You know what's not soft? Mahogany, wood, the smell of old paper. This guy fucking has digital shit coming out. It just smells like LEDs in there.
A lot of tablets, Microsoft Surface tablets.
Yeah, nothing but silicon and fucking shitty operating
TikToks.
systems.
My favorite thing about last week's Oklahoma game that just makes me just hate people is like they're like, Alabama doubled them up in yardage. They doubled them up in yardage, right? They were the better team. You give Alabama the benefit of the doubt. If they played again, they would win because they doubled them up in yardage. No, they wouldn't. They got dominated on the fucking line of scrimmage. That was part of the fucking handicap, was that Ty Simpson is going to get roughed up, right? And then he's going to throw bad passes. They had a 90-yard pick six, right? Which we all like. I don't know what you guys did, but I'm saying I foresaw defensive touchdowns, defensive scores by Oklahoma. No, if they played again, I would take Oklahoma again. All right. This is interesting though, because I hate that take. I hate we shouldn't penalize them too much because they doubled them up in yardage. So
look, they're just anything to get people to think it was a good loss. That's all that is, right? Your media narrative bullshit is all accurate there because it's like, yeah, great. Great.
I mean, do that with every game for the whole season.
Yeah,
hey, Broadway Joe barely beat Unitas. Well, you know what? If they played it again, Unitas would get them. You know what I mean? What the fuck are we talking about?
That's the point spread argument. That's the whole they would be favored if they played next week.
But I love how Colby's go-to references.
Well, that's the greatest
Broadway Joe versus Unitas.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, it was the other
upset in Super Bowl history.
If they played it again, they would still be favored by 12.
Sure. But all right, the only thing that scares me off Oklahoma is do we think Oklahoma lets down after that big win against Alabama on the road? Do they look past Missouri? I guess they have LSU on deck, but I think this Oklahoma defense can fuck up Missouri's offense.
This one's dangerous because we thought Missouri's quarterback Bo Pribula, who's been injured for the past 2 weeks, is going to be out for the season, and now we're getting reports that he's questionable. I don't know if they're doing this on purpose. To fuck with Oklahoma, but if he plays, that's a gigantic difference. Because remember, their second string quarterback Sam Horn is out for the year in the first week of the season, or leading up to the season. So their third string quarterback has really been terrible at throwing the ball. So, but if their starter is available and serviceable, it does change the handicap here. But we have to take Oklahoma. I think just knowing that we don't know who the fuck's going to be playing quarterback.
So per the internet, he warmed up last game.
All right. I'll take Oklahoma. I am a little worried about the Gatorade dump. That's the only thing.
No. What I'm saying is he was healthy enough to warm up for the last game.
You know what? Then give me the points. Give me the points then.
So which that almost tells me they're calling him a game time decision. But if you're telling me he warmed up and this is
so you think he goes now? Then we do like the dog.
I can tell you this: Missouri's defense is actually legit. Like Missouri's defense, Oklahoma's going to struggle to score on Missouri's defense. So like getting a big number. He doesn't even need to throw the ball much. Like I mean, he's not like a prolific passer, but he's so much better than the third string. It would be a gigantic help if they go play action or something, because Missouri run game's good. I'll take the points, I guess, hoping that he plays. I mean, Oklahoma's offense is challenged at times.
Yeah, Montier hasn't really looked.
Okay, so here's the report. Per On 3, looked good and felt good in warmups before who did they play last week? Vanderbilt? No, that's where he got injured. Anyway, whoever the game last week, he warmed up, looked good. Eyewitness account. They ruled him out anyway, and sources express optimism that he will start this weekend, even though he's a game time decision. All right.
Give me the dog. Kramer,
let's take the dog.
Yeah, I'm with you. That little bit of reporting would indicate to me. Now the number opened 9.5 and has been bet down already to 7.5. So perhaps that's some reaction to that.
And this is kind of the sandwich spot, man. Missouri's they're kind of like the team everyone forgets even is in the SEC, right? And they have LSU on deck. So you have Bama, you're going from Bama, then Mizzou, then LSU. Mizzou's the sleepy game there.
For sure. Yeah. I like the angle, and I like the idea of maybe getting this quarterback back. 9 a.m. on the West Coast. We have a nice matchup here in Dallas, Texas. Louisville.
When there's a 90-yard pick six, it's a little bit different than just the whole game. If you're
Colby is responding to CJ's comment on the screen for all of our audio listeners.
Jesus.
But CJ's pointing out Colby doesn't believe in total yards as an indicator. Good gravy. He moves the goalposts and throws them in the lake. I would say the river. He takes them down to the river. Colby does like a good yardage handicap when
what would you look at similar turnovers and stuff? You know what I mean? Like in Alabama was a walking turnover. Yeah. Because Oklahoma's defense does that to everybody.
There is a bit of a undercurrent in the stats world that is just merely pointing out that EPA correlates pretty well to total yards, which obviously would be a disaster for a metric if it just correlates to the dumbest way you can look at the game, but worth noting. So I think Colby and CJ potentially are right.
I've always said they should add the return yards. So like if it's a pick six, add the 90-yard return to the offense.
It is. I mean, they call them hidden yards for a reason. Because to your point, why does the statistic of the interception return go nowhere in the yardage?
Yeah, it should either count against the opposing offense or count for the defensive team's offense.
Negative passing yards seems like the simplest way to do it, because then you don't have to create a new metric for defensive backs.
Yeah. Fair.
And they like to do, even if you just make it the team negative passing yards, like the NFL does with that stuff. Anyway, Louisville, SMU laying 3.5, minus 150 on the money line. Louisville plus 130, 53.5 is the total. Where are we at with Miller Moss, Colby?
Where am I at with the Louisville kickers?
I know, unreal. Although they were kind of lucky, that fumble, non-fumble, whatever. Clemson was the right side.
What are you talking about? They missed the fucking extra point. If they made the extra point in the first quarter, that game's in overtime. Clemson's right side my ass.
I'm just saying that.
Right?
How many field goals did he miss?
That fumble play was
two different kickers. They tried two different kickers.
I think the right side is Clemson.
No, I
don't stand by that. I don't stand by that.
I'm pretty sure the right side is Clemson. Anyway, what are we doing here, Colby?
So what? So obviously SMU, I think, controls their own fate here. I can't recall the ACC's tiebreaker compared to the other conferences as far as strength of record on the outside here, or if they go with points. Some conferences do, point deficit. But if they win this and then at Cal next week, they're going to be tied for first place potentially, or in first place. So, but Louisville, I'm trying to think, is there a path still for the Cards, I think there might actually still technically be a path. They just need everybody to lose. But I'd just take Braum as a dog all day here. I think Louisville gets it done. I love Braum as a dog. Braum as a favorite's where I get concerned. So the fact that they blew that game, and I also just think Louisville's been a better team this year all year. I mean, I know they've have 3 losses. 2 of those were in overtime. I think their roster is better than SMU's roster currently.
3.5.
Louisville.
3.5 feels high for this game. You look at the advanced stuff. They got it almost as a dead pick 'em. And even if you're given shading a little bit more for the SMU home field, 3.5. Why is it past 3? I don't. That's the only thing that's scaring me is it almost feels like too easy. You're taking the candy with Louisville here with that extra hook.
Dream Crusher. They are officially eliminated. They cannot make the ACC championship game.
Is that official? Because
official.
Really?
So they were eliminated by losing that game. They were eliminated. Here are the teams that still are alive: Georgia Tech, Virginia, SMU, Pitt, Miami, and Duke.
Duke's still alive. They're 5-5.
Yeah. So
I will take Louisville plus 3.5, but I'm a little worried about the Dream Crusher angle, and it feels like the 3.5 they're trying to get you to take Louisville, but this should be a close game.
So SMU's scenario involves them obviously winning out. So this is a huge game for SMU. But to me, that's when you fade a team like in the must-win situation. Their butts get tight. So. I think there is well, this is where you're coaching, right? Like, because I do think we're going to see a lot more quit from teams once eliminated. Transfer portal coming up. Got to get your highlight reel going. NIL. Get your Instagram page popping.
Speaking
those highlights.
of which, Sam Levitt already looking at shopping his.
That's what I mean. Like, it's a weird. So give me the team that's still alive. SMU minus 3.5.
He's just doing that for leverage, right?
I think so. Yeah.
It is.
But I don't know why can't we wait to have that conversation after the season's over?
I think we need to solve that problem.
Yeah, I mean,
and I think they're starting to solve that problem in terms of the transfer portal windows. But we just got to there can't be a transfer portal while teams are playing. You can't penalize.
But
go ahead.
I don't even think it's that. I think like you have a lot of agents that aren't qualified agents. So you have like your Uncle Billy. Your Uncle Billy sitting there saying, "Well, he needs more money next year." You know, like
I just think of my Uncle Danny. If he was a college football agent, that would not go well in the transfer portal.
Yeah, I mean, also just it is hard to think long term, big picture, but too often, I mean, I see it with the kids in the youth sports. The second something isn't going your way, all right, let's go find another team that we can get our way. Everyone is so soft because of it. 10 a.m. on the West Coast, Washington State heads all the way across the country to play the Dukes of James Madison in Harrisonburg, Virginia. Minus 13.5 for JMU, minus 750 on the money line. My God, how the Cougars have fallen. They're plus 470 dogs against JMU. How embarrassing. 42.5 is the total. Colby always gets mad when I make fun of JMU.
Well, no, I think Jimmy Rogers, the new coach of Washington State, he came in from South Dakota State and they struggled for whatever reason. Their quarterback, I think he maybe violated team rules or something the first couple of weeks. So he didn't play. He wasn't even he was deep on the depth chart, which had me really confused. But if you look at what they've done recently, I think they've kind of turned a corner. Now I know that when they've hit the road the last 3 times, they've lost 3 times. But look at very close games though.
Yeah, I mean losing at Oregon State, that's not a great loss, but they only lost by 2 to Virginia at Virginia on the East Coast there.
Not exactly a lit environment.
But they lost to Ole Miss by 3 at Ole Miss. They beat Colorado State.
Not a good Colorado State team this year.
Right, but Ole Miss?
Sure, no, yeah.
Yeah. I think the Cougs keep this close. I love the idea of fading a JMU team with crazy expectations. So yeah, give me Washington State.
And I think that the talks of why am I drawing a blank on the JMU head coach right now from Holy Cross? I'm drawing a blank on the JMU head coach, but
it's okay, Colby.
There's talk that he could be Penn State or UCLA's next head coach. So that could be distracting. JMU is still in position now. I don't think the committee will do this, but if everyone beats themselves up in the AAC and in the Mountain West, and they go 11-1, there's still a shot. You know, there's still a
Chesney.
shot. Bob Chesney, country singer. There we go. So there's still a shot if they go 11-1. I don't expect them to be in the playoffs, but if everyone else loses, if Tulane loses at Temple and ECU loses to UTSA and North Texas trips up against Temple as well, you know, then JMU might be in by default.
Yeah, I think you have to understand that. Also, this is a program that had Signetti, so they would understand the idea of a curb stomping a team to help your chances. I'm laying the points. Sorry, Cougs.
Colby, what do you do?
I'll take the points. I'll take the points though. This is a JMU 10-point win.
Oh, okay. I like that. Trying to thread a needle. Classic Colby. Although I like to do the same thing on Tally site. Full disclosure. It's just a sharp way to game the system. I don't know if you noticed, Colby. I've been in the top 10 college basketball and college football experts the last couple weeks. No big deal. Not trying to brag. Just pointing out I have figured out how to game the system. 11 a.m. on the West Coast. We're heading to Missoula, Montana for a game that I'm little shocked we're talking about. Montana State -1.5. Wow, on the road here against Montana. -125 for the favorite, -102 for the dog. We have no dog in this game. 59.5 is the total. I see Colby went to his goatee collection for the Montana State variation this week. Great bear. I mean, Montana is the best bear mascot logo.
That's a bear you don't fuck
in
with.
Sports. No, you don't. If you're not aware, Sean, you don't want to ever mess with a grizzly bear.
Oh no. Yeah.
You remember that great documentary where that fucking loser was like sitting there like petting the bears after
what
like
was his? Remember it was
Grizzly
a Grizzly Man.
Yeah.
Remember his claim to fame?
You shouldn't laugh.
Wasn't he the second guy? He was supposed to be Kramer in Seinfeld or something. He came really close
like that.
to getting a great all-time sitcom role. He was second. Almost got it, and then he ends up getting eaten alive.
True? Timothy,
I love like 12 hours before he gets eaten alive. He's like,
okay. He Timothy Treadwell. He was almost Woody Boyd in Cheers.
Oh, that's what it was.
Which, what an interesting left turn. Because while it's sad that he ends up getting eaten by the bears,
that's
obviously
sad?
what he wanted.
I beg to differ.
It's obviously what he wanted. He wanted to be a bear, but he wasn't a bear. He was a human.
This was Darwinism. I mean, if you haven't seen the documentary, like it's like 6 hours before he dies, and he's petting this bear's head, right? It was sitting on like a riverbank, and he's like, the salmon haven't these bears haven't eaten 24 days. Well, they ate that night. They ate that night, and it was fantastic.
Delish. Are the Bears going to eat on Saturday?
On Saturday. Look, the fact that Montana State has, they've won 6 of 8 against Montana, but some of that was pre Bobby Hawk, who was he's the winningest coach in the Big Sky, but he won a natty with Montana back in the 2000s. He's been back there at the helm. I'm taking the home team here, especially knowing the Bobcats stuck it to him 34-11 last year. And you look at this Montana team this year, they're the veteran bunch. All right. Ayat. If to any sick college football fans out there, they might remember, I believe that's either his dad or his uncle that played quarterback for Montana in the late 90s, early 2000s. Ayat, though, family lineage at the quarterback spot, and then Eli Gilman's a stud running back. So I think the fact they got embarrassed a year ago, and now the veteran team is Montana. I'm going with the Grizz.
Yeah, Colby sounds like he's like going to break a piece of wood. He's like, "Hi-ya,
yeah." To me, it's pretty simple. Home dog in a rivalry game, brawl the wild, and the revenge factor. That's all I need.
Someone just call me Patty.
Patty C over there. Kramer, we can barely hear you.
I don't understand. I'm convinced that some people are listening on like a transistor radio.
They're complaining about the mix of the audio, saying that Pick Dundee is loud AF and can barely hear Sean and Patty. So Patty, can you double check the audio?
I don't understand. Yeah, first of all, feels like the meanest thing someone said to me in a long time.
You do like Chipotle?
No, I don't. That's the first thing that separates me and Patty C.
All right, so we're all in Montana.
We're all in Montana.
Me, Patty, and Colby all on Montana.
ECU.
You do like to brag about your college athletics days.
No, that's absolutely untrue.
Playing for a D1 program, right? Right, Patty?
No, I don't. It wasn't a D1 program when he was.
You did request a can crusher so he could store more empty beer cans in the recycling bin.
Best Patty C story was him telling us that the issue with the office was we didn't have a can crusher, couldn't fit all his beer cans in the trash.
I think ulterior motives. I think he was thinking he could take all those cans and turn it in for some money.
Right? And get more beers.
You think it was a money situation? All right. Moving along. Although, how can we move on from that? Moving along, East Carolina taking on, heading out to the beautiful San Antonio, where UTSA is catching 2.5 points as a home dog, plus 105 on the money line. 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. 62.5 is the total. Colby, I assume you're just going to take your Pirates like a real fanboy.
East Carolina fan.
I mean, we're in position to potentially go to the playoffs, guys. What could go wrong? A trip to a filthy fucking dome, right?
How is this East Carolina team gonna make it? What happened to them against, what was it, Army? That was a bad loss.
No. It was our losses are actually 3 good teams, but there's the way they happened. It was BYU you're thinking of.
Oh, that's right.
It was Tulane you were thinking of, and it was NC State. All
they
3
just have some horrible losses.
Yeah, but look, all 3 of those teams are like in the mix for the playoffs right now.
It's a wild.
I mean, not NC State, but they're a bowl team, and they're beating playoff teams. I'm terrified of this matchup, guys. You just stormed the field against Memphis as you beat them for the 9th time out of 11. But let's go Pirates.
Wow.
We believe.
Not very confident.
I am terrified of this because if we get through this one, I like our chances the final week. But
isn't this the type of team that gives you guys trouble? Off a huge win, storming the field, Josh McCown's son, wheeling and dealing against this
100%
little soft off defense at times for ECU.
Yeah, take the home.
No, this is a really dangerous game. I mean, UTSA in general at home under trailer you saw it with Tulane. They whooped Tulane's ass there.
Yeah, UTSA is the play for me.
It is a bad spot. It is, and they're playing for a bowl game. So
give me the home dog. UTSA.
They have every incentive to.
Kramer, what are you doing?
Yeah,
we got to get it done.
Clear home dog spot. Colby being less than. I mean, was that what? Where would you rate that on Colby's confidence in the squad?
I don't feel very confident. I actually think I just don't want to pick against them if we have a shot to make the playoffs. So I mean, you're just gonna have to put my pick down as ECU, but I'm terrified of this game.
All right. Again, not confident. There's certain ways you can handicap ECU games. One of them is that Colby reluctantly taking ECU.
Yeah, but when he's super confident, that's when you got to fade him. Or when he's fading him, that's
you
when you
take
have to
him when
him.
he fades him. Yeah. That's the move. This is like some weird in between space.
I know
he doesn't want to fade them, but he doesn't really want to take them either. 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Red in Austin, Arkansas, Texas -8.5 for the Longhorns. -320 on the money line. Arkansas plus 280. 57.5 is the total. Arkansas fans still upset they didn't get James Franklin, but I think they're more insulted that Virginia Tech's a better football program than them. So with that, Colby.
Wow, trash talking.
I didn't know I was in a rivalry with Arkansas. I didn't realize that, but there was a lot of slander thrown out there by Arkansas fans at the level of insult to their program that they would be considered a lower program than Virginia Tech. Obviously, James Franklin's not going to go to Blacksburg. Fuck off. Pig suey.
But he will show up at a Walmart and support the Arkansas program.
All right, that's fair.
this game is hilarious. This is so. I mean, Arkansas is like the best 2-8 team in the country. So let me get this straight. They have a 6-point loss at Ole Miss when they were at their like 30-yard line driving and they fumbled the ball. A 1-point loss to Memphis, where they were lining up. They were 1 play away from lining up for like a 20-yard field goal to win. A 3-point loss at Tennessee, who's still in the playoff mix. A 3-point loss to A&M, who they say might be the best team in the country. A 3-point loss to Mississippi State, and a 1-point loss to LSU at LSU. Guys, I'm going back in. This is Road Rash's faces moment. give me the Razorbacks and the points.
Yeah, they just keep losing in heartbreaking fashion. How can you not think this will happen once again? They'll probably be down 8, get the touchdown, and then go for the 2-point and fuck it up. That would be my prediction. They're going to lose exactly by 2 points on a horrible play call on a 2-point conversion. I'm calling it now. They just lose in heartbreaking fashion or some crazy miss kick. But I think it's going to be a missed 2-point conversion will cost them the game. Or even better, they're down 7 and Petrino decides to roll the dice and go for 2 on the road, not playing for overtime, trying to take out Texas in Texas.
Yeah, that's not a guy who's ever played for overtime in his life. I think. I mean, also just inherently with Franklin taking the job in Blacksburg, Petrino's odds to get the job have gone up. One guy out of the way, certainly I'll join you guys and we'll take the dog here. I also think Texas is starting to get some weird national media attention as a look at they're not actually a bad team.
You know who's on deck for Texas?
Yes,
Texas A&M.
Oh yeah, come on.
Which per
undefeated Texas A&M.
I was going to say per Texas fans, that's the biggest rivalry, bigger than the Oklahoma rivalry. Per Texas fans, not per me. Horns down. Duke. Hopefully the SEC commissioner doesn't come after me for that horns down comment. Duke. I mean, considering what happens in the SEC, for them to be worried about people saying horns down, what are we talking?
Please bleep that out, Kramer.
There are so many. No, I'm not going to bleep it out. So far, we're only bleeping one thing out from college shows this season. And I won't even say it. I don't want to bleep. Cause any bleep. Someone reached out and said, "What are you guys bleeping?" I would say if you can't figure it out,
CFL gambling podcast, right?
Yep. No, that's fine. We like that. Congratulations to who won the Grey Cup.
I gave it away. Saskatchewan Roughriders. All right.
Shout out to the Rough Riders.
Yeah. Let's go.
DMX was always a real one. Duke laying 6.5. Against North Carolina, rivalry game, -250 on the money line, 51.5 is the total. North Carolina as a +210 dog is so obvious here. Belichick not interested at all in an NFL job. Bill, fuck off. Jordan is running your existence right now, but this is the game they win. Obviously, Colby.
What did Belichick say at his press conference? His first words were "beat Duke."
Belichick is a walking coaching meme at this point. He is tarnishing his.
I don't know. I mean, am I crazy? I think the defense has kind of turned it around in the second half.
I'm about to say, I thought 4 of the past 5 games they've actually looked all right. Last week they lost to a Wake team that probably should be in the ACC championship.
I'm talking about what he's saying. I'm talking about the way he's acting. He's treating opposing coaches
why does everyone have a problem with that?
Because you're not, because it's a sign that you're not at all being humbled to the situation. You came in with a bravado.
I saw him do that with Eric Mangini.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. You can be into that. I just think it's one of those things where it's like anything else. When you're a coach that is a fucking asshole and hateable, it's easy to hate you when you're losing. So they're going to win this game though, because that's what happens in the ACC.
No, I'm going to take Duke here.
Yeah,
this is what we're rooting for, Sean. I want Duke to win out and make the ACC championship and play Georgia Tech because they should have beat Georgia Tech the first time. Then they make the playoffs and everyone's just irate that a fucking 7-5 team. Well, I guess at that point they'd be 8-5 is in the playoffs. And then they're capable of upsetting some of these teams. They're just a weird team. They have a lot of talent, but they're fucking weird. They're
Well, they have crazy variance
up.
with the turnovers and stuff. They've burned me. I've won some money with them. I'm with you. Give me Duke laying the 6.5. Even though I think UNC's defense has been better as of late, I don't think they're going to be able to keep up offensively. So yeah, give me Duke laying the 6.5 and rooting for some chaos. Even though I still have my Georgia Tech ticket, I'm sweating out.
I think interestingly enough, Duke winning helps themselves as much as it helps Miami and Pitt, I believe, or Miami, because Miami needs them in the tiebreak. Like there's you need a three-way tiebreaker. And so, which they have the tiebreak in that scenario over. And so I think they actually help Miami as much as they help themselves. But yeah, no, it's rivalry weekend, home dog, obviously chaos spot. And yeah, for your futures, you definitely want Duke to lose. You definitely want for your futures because you have Pitt and Georgia Tech or just Georgia Tech?
Georgia Tech.
So I have Georgia Tech and Pitt, and by Duke losing, you also help in pushing Miami down as well. So USC, Oregon, we're heading to Eugene, 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Oregon laying 9.5, minus 400 on the money line. USC
I
plus
see 10.5 now, by the way.
Oh yeah, it's moved since you jotted down. Minus 10.5 for Oregon. USC plus 300 on the money line. 59.5 is the total. Let me get an updated money line here too. USC plus 300 still the money line. So that hasn't moved. The number has. Colby.
Yeah, I'm on USC.
I was going to say
these two.
Go ahead.
I just think these two should form a conference in the Pacific. That,
an alliance,
should
a
be
handshake
one
agreement
of all these teams aligned in the Pacific. It'd be pretty cool. Like if they just did this all the way down from Seattle, all the way down. Fuck it, include San Diego State, right? Just go all the way down, and you guys all touch the Pacific Ocean, or you're right next, or you touch a state next to the Pacific Ocean. Or a state that is next to the Pacific Ocean, you should call yourself the Pacific Conference, and maybe for slang you could say PAC something. I'm on USC though. I think like Oregon's okay. The Iowa win was very impressive. I don't know what to make of beating Minnesota, but I can tell you this: I think USC can stay within this number. I think USC's got a toughness about them that they haven't had in a few years.
Yeah,
or a while actually, more in a while, and. I think they can stay within that number. They're also no stranger to going to Autzen historically. So I think, if anyone's, we'll have we've been up there a bunch of times. So yeah, give me the points in USC. I think moneyline's live.
10.5 is way too much to give this USC team. It just is. To Colby's point, they don't really, as they've blown some games, but they certainly don't quit. I just don't see a world where they don't hang around in this game, and they got down against, and Nebraska was up on them. They came back and won. Even that Notre Dame game, they were in it till the end. So yeah, give me USC plus 10.5. Way too high.
Is Lincoln Riley being like, he's not going anywhere, right?
I think the speculation was before, and we were talking about this in June, is if Texas Tech somehow if they underachieved, they would get rid of McGuire. And because Cody Campbell played at Texas Tech under Mike Leach when they had Lincoln Riley, that maybe he would go for Lincoln Riley and just outbid it. But I don't think you can fire Joe McGuire. And based on Cody Campbell's tweets, he's not going anywhere. So, meaning McGuire. So yeah, I think he's safe. I don't know why. Where else would he go?
Yeah, that was kind of both of these guys aren't going anywhere. So yeah, I'll take the points with you guys. I also think like you said, that what stood out. I think who did USC play last week? Was that the Iowa? Yeah. They were the physicality, something you don't always see.
You get Rex Ryan on the defense. It's only a matter of time.
It's true.
I'm sorry, Rob Ryan.
Rex Ryan's too busy roasting Shador after his 4 for 16 performance in the National Football. I don't know if you saw it, Colby. Shador did not look good. Kentucky.
He's on the Browns.
Yeah, well, yeah, but
when's the last time a rookie quarterback for the Browns did look good?
That's also fair.
Bernie Kosar, maybe.
Fucking
Baker
Brian
Mayfield.
Sipe. Yeah.
Baker Mayfield didn't look good until he left the Browns. Although he did win a playoff game.
I was going to say he took the Browns to the playoffs eventually.
Not his rookie year.
that's a pretty incredible feat considering. Remember one of their coaches was
Kelly Holcomb took them to the playoffs too 1 year.
Aren't Cleveland soon moving inside, right? Isn't that the latest? Cleveland Browns going to build a dome, Colby. I don't know if you've commented on that yet. Kentucky.
Well, I mean, the franchise died. We had a funeral. You guys didn't come to that either.
Kentucky
missed that one.
I don't do funerals. Kentucky, Vanderbilt head to Nashville, 12:30 p.m. on the West Coast. Vanderbilt minus 9.5, minus 380 on the money line. Kentucky plus 290, 53.5 is the total. We were talking about Vanderbilt earlier. James Franklin's old stomping grounds. Colby, who do we like here?
I like Kentucky in the points. Kentucky's playing for a bowl. Stoops makes a shit ton of money if he makes these bowls.
I got the contract up.
Vanderbilt also. I think Vanderbilt will win the game, but I just feel like they lack the home run play often, and I think Stoops' defense is actually pretty good. So I think this is like kind of like the Missouri game all over again. Of like this is Vanderbilt winning, I don't know, 14-7. 17-10, something like that. Maybe even 17-14 or something crazy like that. So
I'll be honest,
Kentucky in the points.
It didn't feel good getting pissed on last week.
Yeah, I rarely get pissed on, but it does happen.
I and maybe another point for your side, Colby. Vanderbilt does have Tennessee on deck there, which is certainly.
And what did Diego Pavia say in the offseason? That he was like, we're winning that fucking game. Like we're the best team in Tennessee. So they might be looking at that, not at this.
That being said, again, it was not. It just doesn't feel good. On the opposite side of Pavia. Give me Vandy laying the 9.5. Kramer, what are you doing?
Well,
this team is very good.
If you recall, there was a restructuring of Mark Stoops' contract. Was it last year or 2 years ago, Colby?
Did they remove the?
Was that when was that?
Why would he give that up? Why would he give that up?
Well, I think they were going to fire him.
No, you can't fire Mark. So he built this whole fucking program.
But right? I think that's what happened. I think he took one of those restructures to stick around. And from what I can tell, the bowl bonus has changed where there's still a financial reward, but he no longer gets that 1 year extension every year he goes. Like,
okay. But is he still making he gets like $1 million?
He gets $1 million. Well, it's $800K. It looks up to $800K. I'm guessing that's for college football playoffs. So maybe less, but what he used to have was if he won 7 games, he got a 1 year extension. And so every year he was getting a 1 year extension because he was going over 500. It seems like they've gotten rid of that, but yeah, cash incentives for Mark Stoops still there. You're afraid to get pissed on again?
Play the sound effect, Ryan. This is you and Colby just sitting there.
What, you think it's dangerous to?
I'm on Kentucky, so the piss is in the air.
So
look at this. Is going to be you guys on Saturday. Yeah. Please stop. Please, Diego. I made a mistake.
I still got you winning, Diego.
This guy needs it. This guy whoever made this sound effect needs to see a doctor.
It's incredible.
He took this audio from Naked Gun.
It might be, yeah.
That's half. I'll pause. I'll pause it there. That was half of the piss.
Play the rest on the Patreon.
We have, maybe Tom Hanks in a league of their own. Tulane minus 7.5, heading to Philly to play Temple. 12:45 on the West Coast. Minus 320 for Tulane. Temple plus 260. 56.5 is the total. Tulane treated me well a couple weeks ago against Memphis in that big time spot. How are we feeling, Colby, about Tulane?
I mean, I love Temple here. I think Casey Keeler is one of the best coaches in all. Actually, he's the winningest now that Brian Kelly's gone. He's got the most wins in all of college football as a head coach. And when year one at Temple, he inherited a shitty program. They're 5-5. They should be better than that. In my mind, they beat Navy and they got completely robbed by the referees. And they've been chippy. They should have. I mean, a 1 point loss at Army when I was on them in the money line, but they still covered. I think this team's improving every week. I love taking first year coaches in November when they good first year coaches where they really sell their team. And Tulane going all the way up to this is NC Nick's classic play of you go to the link in front of 16 people, right? It's cold as fuck. You're like, what am I doing here from New Orleans?
This is in the link. They're playing this one.
Yeah, they play all their games.
Oh my god.
So you're sitting there. It's weird. It's actually like a great home environment for Temple because all the other teams in the conference, a lot of them are in the South. So you come up to this cold ass venue. It's empty. So it's not like you're like, hey, let's kick ass. I got to show the crowd who I am. Right. And then Temple's playing for a bowl. And I think they have a coaching advantage here. Everyone's talking about hiring John Summerall. I think the better coach is in Philly.
It is supposed to be. I mean, it's raining all week in Philly, but it is on Saturday. It will be sunny, partly sunny, and 53 degrees. So
yeah, but it's
somewhat of a balmy,
chilly
day.
enough. Ask Jared Goff what it's like to go.
This will
up
be
there.
nice, but the sun's going to go down during this game, dude. This is 3:45 kick.
It's true.
Yeah. Ask Jared Goff what it's like to come up to the link if you're used to, and Tulane needs Retzlaff to throw to cover the 7.5. Ain't gonna happen.
Money line is live.
Temple
Money
tough.
line is live. Money line is live.
Lay it. The kid he was about to play a football season in Utah at elevation. Let's not overreact.
He opted out of it.
He didn't opt out of it. In fairness, they opted him out.
Yeah.
No sex.
They disappeared him. Let's talk a little. Let's put together a little Underdog fantasy entry. Underdog fantasy promo code SGPN. Get in over there and take advantage of the pick 'em. Play $5, get $100 in bonus funds. Underdog fantasy promo code SGPN. Colby, what are we doing here?
Let's jump. Oh, they don't. Okay. Yeah, let's go to this. Baylor's defense is terrible. An Arizona 7-win team, Noah Fafita higher than 240.5 passing yards.
Okay, very reasonable.
That's a standard play for Colby.
No, he
Only
loves
Baylor's defense is so bad too.
No, but this is a good spot.
Yeah,
seems like a low number.
What is their pass defense actually? Hang on, give me a second. Let me just
Noah Fafita. While you're looking that up, Colby, Noah Fafita has a little like Kyler Murray in his scamper. You know what I mean? Smaller guy.
How tall is he's taller than Kyler? Isn't he?
I don't know about that. Look him up.
5'10". You're right.
Actually,
yeah,
they're a
pretty
little.
I thought he was a little higher.
How the hell does Baylor have the 90th ranked defense? I thought it would be worse, but still not good. All right, still not a good defense. So let's take the over 240 or the higher than 240.5 with Fafita there, and then let me just see what else we have on the board here. Let's go to they haven't hit me with the
they're they're a little bit more limited than normal this week.
Well, we're doing it a little earlier.
Yeah,
well,
okay.
We're doing the show during the day instead of at night.
They probably have Friday night though. Let's go to Friday night then. Where are we at here? Let's go to the. No, they don't have Hawaii.
We don't have Hawaii, but they have FSU, NC State barely. They have some numbers. We have a Mateer number in the Missouri. We have both drones. The VT Miami game has a ton of options.
I'll take Castellanos lower than 240.5 passing yards. He's not a prolific passer.
Castellanos,
considering where his season started with the shit talk on Alabama and then follow through, and then now where they are now, my God,
it's been a precipitous fall for Saudi Arabia State. No Fafita higher 240.5 passing yards. Tommy Castellanos lower 240.5 passing yards. $100 entry returns you $300 over an Underdog Fantasy promo code SGPN. And of course, we're also brought to you by Rhythm. The Rhythm is gonna betcha picks, props, sides, totals. Of course, you can track your plays for a chance to win $1,000 in the Rhythm app. Highly recommend it. I got my own little model going here. Let's see what my latest model has.
Is that how you talk to your model? Hey, little model, get over here.
Yeah, she's a little yapper.
Your fat little girlfriends
drinking their lemonade and their fish sandwiches. My model loves. Oh, let's see. That was I accidentally selected a team there. Let's see what the Smart Signals have been doing very well. Smart Signals love the under 54.5 BYU at Cincinnati. Yeah, it feels a hair high. Under 54.5 BYU at Cincinnati. But again, you can build your own models in rhythm. Use our promo code SGPN25 to get started today and track your plays for a chance to win $1,000.
There was officially an apology issued for the Patty C mistake earlier. So I will accept the apology, Tanner. But I will accept the apology, but I will never forget. TCU heads to Houston, where another from Colby's Goatsy collection, as the Cougars laying 1.5 at home, -115 on the money line. TCU plus or -105, 54.5 is the total. 1 p.m. kick here on the left coast. Again, Horned Frogs. If I'm power ranking mascots in collegiate athletics, a Horned Frog has to be up there.
It's pretty sweet.
Has to be up there.
Well, they do the Hypno Toad. I don't know why they do the Hypno Toad if their mascot's a Horned Frog. Colby, any insight there?
Oh man, I feel like I knew this during the national championship year.
I loved Hypno Toad. It's fun, but I don't know why they do that.
I can't recall off the top of my head right now, but I guess it's
a horned frog toad.
But that's very insensitive to completely different species. Frogs and toads are not the same thing, Sean. Please,
in my mind, there
we might have to do but throw this on the if Patrick Fisher's listening, if you could throw this on the potential episodes for more questions than answers. Thank you. All right. I mean, it's happening, Colby. It's happening. Well, what are we doing here? Is Houston still alive? Is my Houston future still not dead?
So,
my God.
Look, Patty C, TCU is in a good spot to destroy the Big 12 here. So the Big 12, we think Texas Tech. I don't even know if we can, because they still play in Morgantown on November 30th, which could be a dangerous spot for these boys in Lubbock to go to good old Morgantown. But the Big 12 race is very interesting because you have BYU and Cincinnati playing this weekend. The winner will have the inside track, but it's at Cincinnati. So if Cincinnati wins that game, all they have to do is win and they're in, but they travel to TCU next week. Houston is right on the outside, very much alive. Same with Utah, and I guess Arizona State is still alive too. I think they would need a lot of help though, but Houston does not need a lot of help. I don't think Houston could be the beneficiaries here. Utah, I think, needs a little bit of help because they have direct losses to BYU and Texas Tech. So it puts the Cougs in a pretty decent spot here. They just need to not shit the bed. I feel like TCU is gonna get one of these teams. It's pinpointing which one it is. I'm gonna say Houston gets this one. I think next week TCU is gonna ruin Cincinnati's season if they beat BYU. So give me the Cougs. And Willie Fritz, aren't they coming off a bye too? I think they're coming off a bye. So I think, yeah, they've had 2 weeks to study Josh Hoover. TCU's been a little bit of a disappointment, I think, from
TCU's been tough. Yeah, they've been kind of all over the map. They've only covered once on the road. I don't think they get it done here. I like Houston at home, as Colby said, coming off the bye. A lot of time to prepare for the TCU offense.
Yeah, and I think it's just, you're handicapping the conference race at this point. TCU not involved. And Houston, to your point, just to clean up the scenarios, Texas Tech, BYU control their own destiny. Texas Tech plays one more game against West Virginia. BYU has Cincinnati and UCF. Now,
why do I feel like West Virginia is going to win that game?
Things
they have won some random
chaos,
games.
And then
it's like the furthest possible trip. It's going to be cold as fuck. Like Texas don't get cold like that.
You then have all 4 2-loss teams: Utah having Kansas State and Kansas, Houston having TCU and Baylor, Cincinnati having BYU and TCU, and Arizona State having Colorado and Arizona. You could the Cincinnati game, obviously that's a huge one for what you said earlier, but a lot of these other remaining schedules look like they could go undefeated. Chaos with everyone having 2 losses certainly would be fun. As someone who has a Texas Tech future, I'd prefer if maybe they don't participate in the chaos and they just, ho hum, beat West Virginia. Let's get in that championship game. I'm on Houston again. They're still there. My future's alive, as Colby would say.
Let's go.
TCU's is dead. Next up, Kansas State, Utah, staying in the Big 12. Just talking about those tie-breaking scenarios. One of these teams in, one of these teams not in. Salt Lake City plays host to the game. Utah laying 17.5, minus 1,000 on the money line. Kansas State plus 600. 1 p.m. on the West Coast. 52.5 is the total. This might be a dumb question. When's the last time Kansas State came to Utah?
Never.
Yeah. Is that never? So for the slide actually saying first is accurate.
Nice work there. I love fading.
You should have put 2025.
I love fading a team making their debut in Rice Eccles, but 17.5 is
it's wild.
It's really high for a team that I don't think is good, but I'm going to take Utah. Maybe it's super high for a reason. Colby, what are you doing?
I'll take the points. K-State's played for a bowl game, but I mean, you would think this.
I just feel like the second half they're going to get grinded. They're going to get the shit kicked out of them.
You're probably right. I hate fading Rice Eccles, or fading Rice Eccles. But I'm thinking like 31-14. I get the cover here, 31-16, something like that. But yeah, I mean, K-State has been a complete disappointment, but they are playing for a bowl game. But I do worry about the state of that locker room because you got Dylan Edwards already transferring. I feel like Avery Johnson's probably going to be next.
Once one guy transfers from a program, you kind of have to put them in a situation where you really have to feel good about them to take them. Sean points out that this is a great quit atmosphere. You're at elevation.
Yeah, it's easy to stop playing when it's cold and the air is thin.
My daughter has submitted a number of college applications, including one to Utah. So I have to observe the fact that they could be joining my fandom.
Couple of youths.
So, them keeping their postseason hopes alive. I like it. Smash it. Big number, but. Yeah, I started the season as a Ute fan. I kind of lost my way a little bit there. I'm back. Pittsburgh, Georgia Tech in Atlanta. Where are they playing this one, Colby?
Oh, this is Bobby Dodd.
Okay, so there's a true home game.
This is good. Yeah,
4 p.m. on the West Coast. So night game. True night. True. Colby. No soup for you. Georgia Tech laying 2.5 here at home. Minus 130 on the money line. Pittsburgh plus 110. 62.5 is the total. Touched on it earlier with the scenarios in the ACC. Georgia Tech just needs to win this game. And by the way, speaking of Pitt, I saw that McAfee was doing a weird I'm a Pittsburgh guy, Pitt Panthers, and then he went to West Virginia though. I wanted to kind of get an update from Mac on a West Virginia grad saying a nice thing about the city of Pittsburgh and the university there. But
you saw Bob Huggins in that video. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did. Very, very excellent. I don't know if Sean saw, but
no, I didn't. What did
Pitt
he
reaching the?
Was he? He driving? They have him starting up his car with the breathalyzer.
He was in the Pitt basketball hype video. Jeff Capel.
Oh, really?
Great. Just to stick it to West Virginia for firing him unjustly. He says
unjustly.
Yeah.
So Georgia Tech wins this game. They're in the ACC championship game.
Let's go.
The scenario for Pitt involves winning this game as well. So it very much an eliminator game. Pitt loses, they're done.
Well, I feel dumb for back in Pitt last week when they told us they don't care about this game. That probably should have been the red flag there. They clearly showed that.
Narduzzi, what the fuck?
But Narduzzi is a home dog. That being said, I've liked this Georgia Tech team. They sweated. They almost got upset against Boston College. What's up, Trevor? But that's the type of game where you look past them. Oh shit, we're going to lose this game. You still win it. That to me is a good sign. I'm taking Georgia Tech late in the short number here. Going to keep riding out this Georgia Tech ticket. Let's go.
So I have Georgia Tech at 10-1. I have Pitt at 40-1. I think I'd rather have the Georgia Tech ticket survive. They feel like they have a much better chance of actually winning the championship game. Lay it.
Colby, what do you do?
Narduzzi on the road here. No, thank you.
I'm on Pitt, guys. Georgia Tech's got Georgia on deck.
Yeah, but they can't look past this game.
You're insane, Colby.
I think Pitt is a top 10 rush defense. I think they can give them
against QB rush though.
Well, I mean, I don't know about against QB rush, but
did you watch Notre Dame run the ball down their fucking throat last week?
I did, and Narduzzi was waving the white flag. I said, "Yeah, this is an irrelevant game," which surprised me. But I also watched Boston College have a lead on Georgia Tech with 30 seconds left, or 50 seconds, whatever that was.
Yeah, it was classic look ahead to this game.
Colby, blink twice if you're all right. All right, you blink
Give
twice.
me the Pitt Panthers.
Jesus.
Give me those Pitt Panthers to get it done.
But yeah,
Georgia Tech can still make it with 2 losses, by the way.
Yeah, Jeff Capel and Narduzzi remain to be in the mostly fade bucket. Tennessee, Florida, heading to Gainesville shortly. I mean, like I said, the Kiffins were out there checking out schools. Tennessee laying 4.5, -195 on the money line. Florida plus 165. 57.5 is the total. What was that?
You can't bet Tennessee. They haven't won at the Swamp since like fucking like George Bush Sr. Like I feel like it's been a long time. It's been
look it
like it's been I think 2001 maybe. If I had to guess,
that seems impossible considering they've been on the same side of the SEC all those years.
They just don't win, and Florida's had dog shit coaches, interim coaches too. You know what I mean? Like Jim McElwain, and when he got fired, whoever their interim was. And when they fired Mullen, whoever their interim was, when they fired Muschamp, whoever their interim was, Gators money line. Let's go.
So the last time they won in Gainesville, was 2003. They won. They were 12th ranked team in the country. Florida was 17th. They won 24-10. And
22 years.
And that was
let's go.
And
Florida.
they also won in 2001, so they had a 2-game winning streak. And then
that's when Tennessee
that was the peak of I was going to say that was the peak of the Tennessee. And then you have to go back to 1971 before that. So yeah, it's I'd say there's a bit of a rivalry element where what do you think it is?
I mean, I think it has something to do with like them actually playing decent competition, even though Florida is terrible this year. The environment, but I mean, look at Tennessee's wins. Does Tennessee have a win against anybody with a winning record? I mean,
why do people think the SEC is so good, Colby?
Well, like it's all propaganda. You know what I mean? But let's just run through this. Syracuse, they're 3-7.
They're not very good.
Then they had FCS East Tennessee State, who does have a winning record at 6-5. But then they got UAB 3-7. Then they got Mississippi State, who is 5-6. Then they got Arkansas by 3, who's 2-8. Then they got Kentucky, who is 5-5. They do have a 500 win. And then they got New Mexico State in that classic SEC matchup, 3-7. They don't play anybody. I mean, Florida, it ain't going to help here because Florida's 3-7, but Florida still beats them in the Swamp. Give me the Gators money line. Let's go.
Yeah, obvious.
Everyone on Florida.
Tennessee soft. Also potentially one of those programs that even though they have that crazy collective, I feel like Tennessee has a high likelihood of creating so much churn that they end up bottoming out big time. BYU, Cincinnati, huge game in the Big 12 playoff race, like we were discussing earlier. Look at these two cats squaring off on the youtube.com/sports gambling podcast slide from Colby. BYU minus 2.5 on the road here. Cincinnati really let us down last week.
Oh yeah.
Minus or plus 110 on the money line here at home. 54.5 is the total. 5 p.m. local time. So 8 p.m. local time, 5 p.m. on the West Coast. What body clocks will be fine for the left coast kids as the time goes the other way. Colby, what are we? It seems like this is going to be back to the playoff picture, but I feel like considering this is an elimination game, I'm going to favor the home team, I think, but BYU. Yeah, I don't know what to think here actually because Cincinnati let me down and the recency bias is affecting me. What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm on the Bearcats. BYU. Look, Bear Bachmeier's played good as a freshman, especially he was kind of just thrown to the wolves after Retzlaff, ate that girl's ass. But
is that what happened? My God,
disgusting act.
Whatever happened.
They say you can't do that there, huh?
Yeah, they're against it. It's in their Bible. Thou shall not eat ass.
Thou shalt not toss salad.
Well, you put the sheet on top of it first, I think. Man suffocates on eating.
So
ass.
my problem with Bachmeier is he has only thrown, like, you look at the road spots, right? Like at Colorado in the game, personally, I thought Colorado should have won. He threw for $179, right? Against Arizona, where they won in overtime in a game I kind of thought Arizona should have won. He threw for $172, and he was just 12 of 29 with two picks. Then you go to the Texas Tech game where they got destroyed. He threw for $188, and some of that was in garbage time. So like he's had issues. The passing offense on the road has had problems. They become very predictable then. So I will take the Bearcats to get this done. And Bearcats coming off a loss. This was kind of the look ahead spot for this game. So yeah.
Yeah,
give me the Bearcats.
I'm on Cincinnati. I don't love it. I just think you fade. BYU is a road favorite here. Is something I'm not down on, but I don't love Cincinnati either. So, but I'll still take him. Kramer, what are you doing?
It does seem like so BYU is not dead if they lose, and so yeah, the chaos element of the Big 12. I kind of think they do lose. I think Cincinnati wins, keeping themselves in the race, and we end up with 5 teams potentially on 2 losses. After this weekend, I'm with you. Give me the home dog. Also, I asked AI if a Bearcat could handle a Cougar. It said unlikely, considering they generally only get to about 45 or 50 pounds.
Oh, great point.
Meanwhile, Cougar, a 250 pound cat that could, with a swipe of its paw, end your life.
Patty C is great at using AI. Nice work there, Patty.
That's not a funny joke at all.
All right, let's get to our lock, dog, and tease and contest picks. Shout out to our fellow contest players, Mac in the Box. We did not have a good week in our contest. Hopefully they had a good week.
I'm sure they were happy.
Yeah.
Sure they were
been talking a lot of trash over there.
Budding rivalry.
I heard you were talking.
I'm sure you stick up for us, right, Colby?
Well, you guys are dead weight to me. Texas A&M play was just unbelievable.
That was the right
Colby
side.
does play both sides, even with the contest groups.
That was the right side. The Texas A&M.
Hey, I gave you Navy money line, motherfuckers. All right,
that was a good play.
And Boise State. Let's not forget Boise State.
Oh, that should have hit.
I gave us ECU and Texas A&M, and Texas A&M. I've never seen a team more on the take in the first half.
Lock, dog, and tease brought to you by Novig. Promo code SGPN. Ryan, why don't you start us off? 2 locks, a dog. What do you got?
Happy to go first. I think we just play a lot of these motivation angles. You know what? Start with the dog. Give me UNC plus 210.
Okay.
Lock number 1. I think SMU drills Louisville, keeping the hope alive. I think we go right over to Houston laying the 1.5 against TCU, another eliminator game. I think the bonus lock we're going to want to put, Florida feels like a strong lock, but give me Georgia Tech, elimination game, Georgia Tech at home. In a lit Bobby Dodd environment, somehow Colby's going against. Tease. Let's get Cincinnati up to 8.5. That's how you tease. Tulane down to 1.5.
Okay.
And let's see, Montana at the FCS level where they always offer generous teasers up to 7.5 points.
Like it. All right, for me, let's see. What are we doing here? Friday night dog. Give me Hawaii as a lock plus 2.5. Feels like a very good spot there. Utah at home against a team making their Eccles debut. I like that angle, and USC plus 10.5 as my other lock. For my money line dog, Give me Temple. Temple tough. Get it done on the money line against this soft ass Tulane team. Plus 260 on the money line. Book it for my tease. Give me Florida up to 10.5 just in case. Give me Cincinnati up to 8.5. And last but not least, give me Vandy down to 3.5. Colby.
Let's lock up the Pussy Pack on Friday night.
Oh my God. You again?
Let's also lock up Louisville plus 3.5 against SMU.
Okay.
And let's lock up Kentucky plus 9.5 against Vanderbilt.
We got a lock battle. We got a lock battle.
You're locking. You're going against the piss.
The dog is Temple. And Sean, we should also do a Temple USC money line parlay.
Oh yeah, I'm putting that down. Temple USC both on the money line. That is a juicy parlay.
No, thank you.
Okay, that's just a.
I'll do US. I mean USC. I'll be intrigued, but I'll find something else to pair it with.
Okay, Colby, what else you got for your tease?
Tease. Let's go to. Well, let's have some fun. Let's NC State up to 10.5. Let's take
Friday night tease.
Colby studying. Let's take USC to 16.5.
Okay.
Well done, Colby.
Let's take let's take UTSA to 8.5.
Meet motherfucker. All right, contest plays. Colby, you want to go first?
Sure. Whatever floats your boat. Let's go with. I think I gave Navy out first last week, so since that was one of our gigantic mega whale plays, let's look. The Fridays have treated us good, guys.
Yes, let's
go.
So
that was part of our 7-0 week, and the Pussy Pack. The Pussy Pack get it done plus 4.5. So let's go.
I'll select USC plus 10.5. Kramer.
Houston
laying the 1.5. Colby, you're back on the clock for the contest.
He's thinking really hard. He's very.
Well, it's like, do we want to get pissed on in the contest? Is what I was thinking. No. Like I'm gonna. Yeah, I don't think we want to get pissed on in the actual contest. So
scared money don't make money, Colby. Come on.
Let's take it to Temple plus 7.5.
Great play. I will go Utah minus 17.5. We need one big chalk to bounce things up.
Georgia Tech minus 2.5. Consensus play. What is one we all agree on? Cincinnati, Florida. We already took Houston,
Missouri,
Arkansas.
We shouldn't we just play Florida? Colby was all over the fact they haven't won there since 2003.
I think Cincinnati.
Cincinnati, Kramer.
Either one is fine with me. I'll let you be the tiebreaker.
I'll let Colby be the tiebreaker.
Colby.
Oh wow, hot potato.
Cincinnati.
We also had Missouri.
I kind of those three, I like Missouri the best.
Let's take Missouri. Let's go.
All right, they were close to being a lock.
Well, we got the quarterback news. Well, this number is going to close like 4. Right?
Sharps. So NC State plus 4.5, USC plus 10.5, Houston minus 1.5, Temple plus 7.5, Utah minus 17.5, Georgia Tech minus 2.5, Missouri plus 7.5. Make sure you subscribe to the College Experience wherever you get your podcasts, and 25% off everything in the merch store. Promo code HOLIDAY. And of course, as always,
thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For the Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, second the money green. He's Ryan.
Hey Colby, what the fuck is a Wahoo anyway?
Kramer, let it ride.